Bonjour, Monsieur Amedee Santalo. Welcome to the Inners.
Bonjour, and thank you for welcoming me.
If you would sum up the answer in only one word, how would you describe the ideal world that you would like to see in the future?
Peace.
We all wish for peace in this world.
I just now celebrate 25 years of experience.
Exactly, strategy.
I said yes immediately. Frankly speaking, I don't really know why I didn't think about it. I just asked them, when do you need me? They said now. And after 48 hours, I was in the plane.
What was the motivation that made you choose this path and become a concept architect designer?
So I have more an artistic part than technical. So when I came to Dubai, I saw that there is no limit in creativity and design. Dubai was exceptional and was giving me all opportunities I wanted, and especially Dubai. At that time, they was telling you, please do what you want. No restriction in creativity.
And that's why we love Dubai and the United Arab Emirates. It's undeniable how passionate you are about your work.
I am very much, and I am also a little bit ashamed to say that I'm working. I am enjoying.
Hello, Inners community. My guest today is an incomparable, brilliant mind and an extraordinary creative, a seasoned journeyman with a global outreach, a disruptive concept designer for architectural projects in iconic buildings, smart cities expert, advising governments on development in multiple sectors, including technology and even food security. Bonjour, Monsieur Amedee Santalo. Welcome to the Inners.
Bonjour, and thank you for welcoming me.
Thank you. It's a privilege to have you here with us, someone of your caliber. I'm sure we're going to have an exceptional session today.
Thank you.
So please walk us through your background.
I just now celebrate 25 years of experience. So it's the good time to come back at the beginning of the story, where I started in Geneva, and I had a chance to start in the Center of Nuclear Research in the CERN, where we have the full program of digitalization of the site. It was my first contact with the digital at that time, where we talk about, it was not really 3D, but synthetic images. It was the beginning of something special. So I become very advanced in that technology. And then suddenly I have a demand from a program, a refugees program in Africa. And they asked me, would you like to go in the middle of nowhere in the bush and become the administrator of a huge program managing 600,000 refugees from Liberia and from Sierra Leone? And I said yes immediately. Frankly speaking, I don't really know why I didn't think about it. I just asked them, when do you need me? They said now. And after 48 hours, I was in the plane. So it was my, let's say, first best opportunities that I catch. And it was also my first contact with Africa. So I stayed 3.5 years in Africa with a great experience and having the willingness to do more and more with Africa. Unfortunately, the war of Liberia took us, my wife and myself, out of the country. And this is the time I had the chance to know somebody from Dubai and Geneva who was looking for a designer to do the Formula One race. So I met the team of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid, this time in Dubai, and I offer my service, and they really enjoyed the project, and that was my first contact. So they invite me to spend a lot of time in Dubai, which I really appreciate, and this is the time I was thinking something will happen in this region, and as I said, opportunity is something I like to catch. So I said yes immediately, I will come to Dubai, and I was here for a mission of 6 months, and it lasts 17 years.
This sounds so exciting already. I cannot wait to hear more.
Yeah, so the next was fantastic because we didn't make the Formula One because it's extremely complex for me to bring the whole solution. At that time, they wanted not only the design, but the whole solution. Then the government said, look, you're welcome for any other project, any other idea. And then I offered them Dubai 3D visualization. It was totally new in the market and they loved it. And that was the reason I set up my company in Dubai. So I was lucky to have the Dubai municipality as a partner, especially the GIS department. And I really got to know about the vision of Dubai, about what they really want to achieve. And it was amazing for me to see that they could plan the next 20 years, 30 years already early 2000. So as a designer, I'm passionate by doing something different every day. The land for me of Dubai was exceptional and was giving me all opportunities I wanted, and especially Dubai at that time, they was telling you, please do what you want. No restriction in creativity, no rules. Let's express your creativity. And then it was for me a totally change coming from Europe, or everything is totally formatted, regulated, and you can be a good designer in Europe, but when you come to Dubai, your brain has no limit. As you say it always, the sky is the limit here. So I'm very grateful to the city that I've learned so much, and I have met fantastic people, and I can say that if I had a chance to design things and to achieve nice things, it was also because of the people I've met here. I concentrate as a French on really living with local people, learn from them why this vision, what they want to achieve, why Dubai is happening. And we know that Dubai was not the place with a lot of oil in the region. So why Dubai decided to go not crazy, but to go in a very ambitious vision. And the reason of that impressed me, and I believed in the future of Dubai. And this is why I decided to not just pass by, but to stay here and to bring my family with me.
That is wonderful. And it's correct that it's a great vision, exceptional vision here. And it's a very impactful culture when it comes to empowerment for creatives and entrepreneurs like you. And why are you so passionate about project development?
First, I think that the development is about living. It's about giving the people the best place to live in. So when you have a great vision in development, you guarantee that the people will have a beautiful life. So as an architect, you can build beautiful, comfortable building. As a designer, you can make it fancy and attractive. But as a developer, you can bring a beautiful life to people, a safe life. You can give them all what they need by applying the right vision in the project. So architecture, design, and development are really three things totally different. And in Dubai, they had the three of them. And this is where I learned that wonderful combination and how we can really change the life of people and make them safe and comfortable and be part of the project, to be recognized in the society. That's it's only about development.
Wow. You were featured in Forbes magazine about your specific concept and vision when it comes to smart cities. Can you tell us more about it, starting with what a smart city is?
Yes, absolutely. I was working with a developer here, which is originally from Saudi and who had a great vision. And that time he was telling me, Amedee, we need to redefine the new type of cities. And this time we didn't speak about smart cities. We call it City of Light, Al Noor City. And he said, when we will change the mind of the people about cities, they will understand that the light, Al Noor, will bring a different lifestyle. So I learned from this gentleman that the development can change even the shape of the city, the organization of the city, to make it more comfortable, more safe, better management. Then there is technological firm who come with the idea of putting the smart city name. And it was only about technology. So you go outside, there is no light. When you go out, the light is on. When you go inside the house, the street lights are off. So you have a better management. You are saving energy. You are not wasting. So this is a smart attitude, but it was a software at the origin for city management, and they call Make It Smart. So for me, the smart city, I have a totally different approach. The technology has to serve the city for sure, and to have to improve the management, to have to bring a new type of management. But that is about efficiency. Again, it's not about human. So for me, a smart city is when you put back the human at the center of the development, and when you care about his preoccupation, and when you want to be sure that the person will be affiliate to the city, will be recognized at the city, will be part of the city, will feel it's a little bit his city. He's living in his own environment and he's participating in. So putting back the human at the center of the development is a totally different approach. When you build something and you are looking for clients through marketing company, advertising, and trying to fill your buildings, it can work in a specific environment when you are in a place that everybody want to go. But when you are doing this in the middle of nowhere and you have to you have to build something for the people, then you look at the people and you say, what can I design for them to have a better life? That is about smart city. So for me, the smart city name has to change a little bit because everybody is using smartphone, smart contract, smart becomes something digital signature, digital stamp. Then it has to be smart. If you don't name your project smart today, then you don't have a good project. So today, frankly speaking, smart doesn't mean anything if it's not technology. It's not my approach. So my approach is more to talk about smart development instead of smart cities. And when I go close to a government and they ask me what is a smart city, I say, because they have this image of technology, flying cars, and we can see today in advertisement this type of things. I'd say let's talk about smart development, where you are involved in, because it's your role to do that, and to plan the future of your cities, the future of your people, to have a better life, to have better health, have better education. So that's the smart development, and with no negative collateral against nature. That's the big challenge. So everything goes through decentralization, thinking totally differently. And this approach, the governments, they don't have often. They always have people who say, you have traffic, put more roads. You need a university, we bring you a company to put university. But to have a large vision of the development, it's very rare. And our particularity is we can advise on the development, but we can also look at the country and design the master plan of tomorrow. So for a government, it's very interesting to have an advice plus a picture at the end. And when the picture is correct, we know, all of us, that it's not difficult to find a fund and to find the right company to come and execute. So this is about development. The difference between a builder, an architect, who will come and fill a solution. You need urban plan, I give you an urban plan. But we are not into that. We deliver that, but we deliver a much wider vision of that. And that thanks to Dubai and thanks to the developers that I've met here, because they are the one who teach me all these things.
Which brings me to ask you, where do you get your inspiration from?
For me, the inspiration is the most important. When you want to do something different, and when you want to do something iconic, you go to perfection. And the perfection for me is nature. So I study a lot nature, that we call biomimetism or biomimicry. This is inspiration from nature and design from nature. And the proportion of nature is perfect. And your eyes and my eyes know that proportion, because our body, the flowers, the animals, everything we see has this proportion. We call it the golden ratio. And this golden ratio, yes, this proportion is just will please everyone. So when you see something with the right proportion, your eyes is not shocked. And you see some designer, architect, they do some different proportion, and they say this is art. But there is a community who said that's fantastic, and others say I don't like it. So when you be inspired by nature, you cannot be disappointed. You cannot disappoint people. But then what you add as a designer on the top of it is the quality of your work. So you solve one problem by studying the nature. I give you just one example. I have a routine. Is every day I study something different. Because I consider that in the city or in the environment, you have to know a little bit minimum of everything. So I study water. Water is one of the most complex things for science to understand. It's not H2O only. It is a very complex thing. So I studied this for 3 months, and I was in Paris in a conference, and the guy was showing a vortex and was explaining how powerful is a vortex and the epicenter of the vortex. This drives the whole energy in one point. And immediately I saw this beautiful shape, which is a water vortex or a vortex in the air. It's the same, exactly same shape and same proportion. Then I freeze the picture in my mind. I just turn it and I see a beautiful tower. And I remember one thing that when I come to the architect and I wanted to do this type of shape, they said it's impossible to do because the usage of the surface, it's not applicable in architecture. Then I said, okay, if it's impossible, then I will look at it. And when I saw this in the conference, I said, this is my tower. And I designed it in one weekend. And then I went to show this to a top design company. And they said, what do you think? I would like you to be the architect of this beautiful tower. I just want to be the concept designer. And you need, it's a 650-meter tower by 400 down. There is a full concept inside. And they say, wow, you made it because it was impossible to do. They say, yes, now it's on the table. So I always try to find an inspiration in nature, and now I can translate it into a building, but it has to be realistic. It has to be iconic. It has to be something very needed, necessary. It's not something just fancy and design. And a lot of examples like that. And now I design the last building. It's for a territory which is Cape Verde, which is moving a lot these days. And they want to do a new type of education, new type of cities. And I design a building. I give you a secret because it's very new.
S'il vous plaît.
But it's with a sign of infinity, which is very complex to do in architecture. Nobody did it. And
number 8.
And when the client saw it, he said, I have some tears in my eyes. So it was, this is what drives me actually in my job, is when I'm sure that the client will love it. And I want also that the people who will look at it, we cannot satisfy 100% of the people, but by choosing nature, by choosing the right proportion, you will satisfy almost everyone.
Super interesting. So what are your design pillars or design philosophy, and what makes you, apart from being impossible, choose and accept a project?
Challenge. When I feel a big challenge in the project, then I think that if I don't take it and somebody else will take it, I will lose something important, then I take it. And the challenge for me is always what makes me wake up in the morning, study, working, finding solution. The vortex, everybody said it's impossible, don't waste your time. Then I jump in. I design a project in Ivory Coast that will be soon under construction. And when I tell the clients what I will do, he said, no, I don't understand at all what you want to do. And when he saw it, he was absolutely impressed, and the president was impressed. Why it was a challenge? Because the president was looking for a concept, and after 3 projects, he rejected all, and he said, now I want to see something which is futuristic, but showing my country in a different way, my culture, my art. And we make a combination. This one I cannot disclose the design, but it works because it was a big challenge. And when it's a big challenge, then I always take it.
What was the motivation that made you choose this path and become a concept architect designer?
First of all, in architecture, I always like more the artistic part than the technical part. I'm more designing by hand than by computer. I like sketches, I like these things more than the mouth of my computer. So I have more an artistic part than technical. So when I came to Dubai, I saw that there is no limit in creativity and design. So I could express myself more in that part. When in Europe, they will ask you to be more into technical part. So we want a nice building, straight, not too expensive to build, efficient, etc., etc. Here, they will tell you, show me something I've never seen before. So that's my main motivation, and that was driving me to this artistic part.
And that's why we love Dubai and the United Arab Emirates.
No, absolutely. It's a country absolutely amazing, who show that everything is possible and the sky is the limit.
And they have proved it. They made the impossible happen, which made it possible.
They have put serious pillars also in the development of Dubai. When they started to build the Burj Al Arab, which is the first 7-star in the world, people was wondering why a 7-star in the desert. Mm-hmm. They made it, and the big challenge for them was the palm. Because the whole community and the professional in that artificial island said it's impossible to stabilize a palm island in the sea, and especially the deepness at the end was 20 meters. And they fill it with the rock of Ras Al Khaimah, and they fill it for years, and they made it. They face few issues, they solve them. And Dubai is brave in the sense of they do it, they know they will face some issues, but they will correct them. Then the third pillar was the Burj Dubai, we can the Burj Khalifa, who impressed the whole world and attract the eyes of the world. And Dubai is amazing in attracting the eyes of the world into the place, and that's very important. This is why also sometimes I explain the government, if you want to change something, you have to show something different. And I work a lot now in Africa. Africa is certainly the richest place on earth. It's a wonderful continent. Third of the resources are there. And but they are very reasonable in the development, which is nice. But sometimes you can have something iconic to say, here there is something happening. And that's my job. When the government said, what can we do to attract the eyes of the world in our place? Then I start to work and I start to fantasy of something.
That is super interesting. And again, going back to Dubai, it's leading by example. And that is inspirational and motivates everyone who lives here and the rest of the world. And actually, it pushes us to become the best versions of ourselves because it's a very competitive place. And it brings the best of all of us, out of all of us. But here we come to a very interesting concept, which we'd like some clarification from your side. Sustainable economy, circular economy, and blue versus green economy. Can you shed light on these concepts?
I think the green versus blue economy is extremely important. So I just want to clarify the blue economy because most of the countries, they think blue economy is the economy from the sea. So it's fisheries. But there is a concept of blue economy which has to replace the green economy. And the main person behind this is Mr. Gunther Pauli, who was the guru or the king of the green economy long time ago. And he realized that when he was doing the first ecological product, he was using a lot of palm oil. And he was invited in a country where they destroyed the whole forest to put palm oil just to feed his factory. And the president was happy to show him all these beautiful lands only for him. And he said, what was here before? And they said, that was the jungle with orangutan, a lot of animals. And said, well, there, we got the trees. They are not anymore there. But you have your... Then he realized that the green economy can have a bad collateral against nature, devastating things. And at the end of the day, you just make a product which is biodegradable. So the problem of the green economy, we take things at the end. You have a car, you don't have a smell on the back of your car, it's ecologic. But the whole chain, what happened? What happened when you need the rare material, the minerals? This is the whole chain who has to be ecologic. It's not a million of liters of water you need to make batteries or things like that. So the green economy, we face some limitation that we just identify or we just analyze the end of the process, but not the chain. And the blue economy is exactly the opposite. The blue economy is to ensure there is no collateral on nature. So whatever we produce, we imitate the nature, we study the nature, and we deliver. Nature has energy without consuming anything. And nature, there is no unemployment. Everyone has a role to play, and nature is a very well organized. So why can we be inspired by this? And so the blue economy will ensure that there is nothing that we will damage our society, our world for the next 50 years, 100 years. So that's definitely the great future to go in that direction. Now it's coming to circular economy. It's we are in the society where we produce, we consume, we throw. We produce, we consume, we throw. And now we are saying we have a lot of recycling to do, etc., etc. The circular economy, the waste doesn't exist. There is no more waste. So everything is a resource that you can take for something else. I think the best example I can give you is where we have the most waste. It's here, in your coffee. Oh. Because when you make a coffee and you have this beautiful, nice smelling and tasty juice, you waste 98.2% of the product. What releases in the coffee, the matière, will stay, it's a huge waste. And I would say in Europe, but so many places, we burn that. We burn and cost $200 a ton, and sometimes more. But in the circular economy, we said this waste of the coffee, is a fantastic soil to grow food and especially mushrooms.
Mm-hmm.
So you take
Wow.
it, you mix it with the soil, and you grow a fantastic mushroom with that. And the result of that is an excellent food for some animals, like goats, like chicken, and this and that. So you finish the cycle. You have 3 business. You don't spend in burning it. You don't consider it's a waste. You consider it's a nice product for the next. So
And you don't harm the environment.
not at all. And when you go to Europe for that, because we are consuming a lot of coffee, they are saying, are you sure about the business model? Is it working? And so on. So you go to Africa and they say, wow, I can have 3 business from the waste. Then they do it. You come after 3 weeks and you have mushrooms. And, so this is now also coming back to Africa. I think they have this concern of nature, this concern of be sure that there is not much waste. No, we produce in food, what we produce, we waste 40%. All these things have to stop. So we have to be more smart again and change our way of thinking and consider everything has been created can be a product for something else. That's the circular economy. And that makes economy sustainable, because from one problem you create new businesses and you create things that has value. So the principle of all these things is to add value all the time and don't consider that something has no value.
And how do you consider the environment and sustainability in your projects?
For me, there is everything to create. There is everything to invent. There is a lot of opportunities in innovation. So when you consider that everything is a resource, and when you have a project, when you have a city, and you consider that you can transform everything, means you are creating new business, added value all the time, and that makes your things moving forward, multiplying the incomes. Plus, you have to think in terms of motor to boost the economy, strong engine to boost the economy. Can be a touristic destination, can be an iconic building, but it has to have some attractivity. You have to let the people understand why they should come and spend more time in your place. That's one fantastic engine, which is linked to tourism or to investment or to business. Plus, you have the product, and the product that you have can increase dramatically your revenues and your business model in the city. That make it very sustainable.
Okay. And you're originally from
France.
But your main place of operation is Middle East and Africa. Why have you chosen this part of the world to be your operation?
The first place, as I explained before, I met was Africa. Actually Switzerland. I'm still very, very much linked to Switzerland, which is one of my favorite places, and also to operate. But when I discovered Africa, and I was leaving Africa with that war of the famous 6 April in Liberia, I always had in mind I will come back to Africa, but with good developers, with good experience, and do some advice. It was from the beginning that in mind. So when I was in Dubai, I found a solution also to come back to Africa. So I never stopped when I was in Dubai to move between Middle East and Africa, to link project, to link investment. And I have met a lot of partners from Africa in Dubai. As you know, in Dubai, you meet the whole world. So I consolidate my vision to go back to Africa with project investment and vision in Dubai. And these are the logic territories. One has everything to be done, has the resources for that, have the manpower for that, and have the size of the land for that. And Middle East has a fantastic vision on Africa. They don't have a bad vision. They don't have a priori. They don't have, they just look at this as Africa has a beautiful land with a lot of people, young population, arable lands, unlimited arable lands, unlimited resources. So why not to join hands? So I think today one of my main activity is to bridge Middle East and Africa. So that's the reason I target these two. One has done exceptional, and the other one is on the track to take off.
And that's indeed a very smart approach. And now we're going to come to a part in our session. We're going to ask you about your vision and take an opinion on 8 important words.
Okay.
Let's start with family.
Family is what is the most important for me in my life is family. And it is what give me a solid foundation. I'm a little bit a dreamer. When you're a designer, you need to dream. And to dream, you need to have good foundation. And my family is all for me. When I say my family is my close family, my family extended, my brother and sister, my family in-law, this is the environment that I feel extremely comfortable and extended to my friends.
That's very touching. What about health?
Health is more important for me every day, coming older and older. And health has always been an issue for me because I have a lot of allergies. So I face some situation, difficult situation. But when you come back from difficult situation, you are more boosted and more energy, and etc. As always. So health is super important, and I believe that without good health, it's difficult to achieve anything.
What about money?
Money for me, it's not my choice that this society is working on money. Money is the newborn, and I think it's few hundred years of the real money that we are using today. So we are living in that society, so we have to work with that. For me, the money is the possibility to achieve something. So I believe, I give you just an example. It's not what drives me first, but I know if we do well, if we have a nice project, the money will be there, because I believe that it's not the money who make project, it's the projects who make money. So when you understand that, then you have no limit in your project and you know it will work.
Bravo. What about wealth?
Wealth is something that you have to develop if you want to secure your environment, if you want to do good things, if you want to project yourself in the future, then you have to be sure that you can ensure a certain wealth. Yeah.
And what about work?
Work?
Mm-hmm.
I love work. No, work for me is a part of, I said my family is number one. I can say that work is number two. And this, when I wake up in the morning, I'm impatient to be with my pen and my paper to see what I will draw today and what's next. And really what I love in my work is that anytime I deliver a project, there is something totally new behind after that. So I don't know what will be next. And I really love that.
It's undeniable how passionate you are about your work.
I am very much, and I'm also a little bit ashamed to say that I'm working. I am enjoying.
And what about networking?
Networking for me is certainly one of the most important things, and especially when it comes to having ambition in building a good career. You cannot do alone. You need to be surrounded by good people. And I can say in that I was extremely lucky to meet amazing people, inspiring people. And that's allow me again the second foundation. The first is my family. The second foundation is my network, who allow me to dream, who trust me, who give me challenges in new projects. If you are not surrounded by the good environment and good network, truly you cannot achieve anything. So I am not saying I achieve a lot of things, but everything I achieve, it was due to my network and good support and good people.
That's very powerful.
Really important. I advise the people really to choose their partners, to choose the environment, and that will change totally their life. If they have the feeling that they are not moving to forward, maybe they have to look into the network.
And what about community and the environment that we live in?
I think we are all aware now that we are doing a lot of mistake with our environment. So I think we have now to urge to have a different attitude, to think different, to be more smart in the way we consider our resources. And I'm not too much, frankly speaking, worried about the planet. If we stop what we are doing means an excess in taking resources, and there is nothing reasonable in what we do. If we stop that, the planet will survive. But if we don't stop that, I think we are putting ourselves in danger. The water will always be the same amount on the globe, but the clean water and the water that you can drink is less and less every day. The pollution is huge, and the distribution of the water is changing all the time. So we have to be careful that the planet is alive, is moving, has its own rhythm, and we have to be aligned with the planet, which today I don't think we are. We accept to destroy the pullment of the planet, which is Amazon. Now in DRC, Congo is the same. We're cutting. And I think if we don't go back with a reasonable approach, respecting nature's law, we will be in trouble very soon. So I think it's not only about having electrical cars, all these things. It's maybe having different habits. Why do we need to have everything everywhere at the same time? Why? And why it is becoming more and more? And that's craziness, that everyone wants the last thing and running in the shop to have this. So the waste of whatever we produce is incredible. That is the damage. And we are talking about our pollution in the oceans, which is huge and almost impossible to reverse. I don't see any ship having a fine for throwing things in the water and this and that. So there is a big talk about ecology and there is no action about it. So we really now, I think, to have to take action. We need to take action and change.
This is a very dangerous and pressing situation. And this is a very strong message to all of us, where we need to be more aware about, as you said, it's by starting with our personal habits, and this is how we can all make an impact. And this is what we're trying to do here at the Inners community through this podcast as a platform to raise awareness for everyone to know more about it. And we'd be more than happy to hear from our audience if they would like to ask us about what habits and what we can implement, and we'll get back to you to give us some further tips that we can share with everyone so we can spread more knowledge.
Absolutely.
Now we will come, hopefully, to a more lighter and entertaining and interesting part of the show, where we get to also to know more about Monsieur Amedee Santalo as a person. Okay, I'm going to ask you about some of your favorite things in life, starting with your favorite dish.
My favorite dish always been duck.
Okay.
I love duck in all its form, and the magret, and the foie gras, and the Peking duck. I love duck.
Okay. And that brings me to my second question. Are you a good cook?
That's an interesting question because I always love to cook. If I'm a good cook, I don't know. But I was always, since let's say the age of 16, 17, really passionate by cooking. And by the way, I hesitate when I was finishing my study. Shall I go for chef or shall I go as a designer? Wow. And life made me take the right decision because of the allergy that I developed after that. It could be difficult to be a chef and not having the possibilities to taste the food. It's almost impossible. So I chose the right one. I don't regret. I prefer, frankly speaking, the design, but it was always a big challenge for me to choose between being a chef or a designer.
And what's your favorite or best dish that you cook?
That I cook, let's say what I like to cook, because it is bringing a lot of people around the table, and it's very, the bourguignon is very classic French food, but the bourguignon I love to cook, and I know everybody enjoy it, and you can cook easily for 10, 20 people, and people enjoy that, yeah.
Let's please change the subject. This is torture for me. What are your other passions or hobbies?
I have a routine. Everyday routine is like 2-3 hours when I wake up. Some people, they go for walk. Some people, they go for sports. As you can see, I don't go for sports, but I like to study. So I like to study something different. And when I have a feeling like I study for one week, 1 month, maybe 3 months sometimes, the same subject, and I have enough approach on the subject, not knowledge, of course, but approach, then I like to study something totally different. That's my routine, my hobby, what I like to do. And mainly it is through conferences. When the subjects are interesting, I also fly, meet the people, and exchange things. That's something I really, really fancy.
That's a great perspective. Differentiating knowledge from approach. And it's also very, very humble of you admitting that or saying it out in public. That is hats off. It's also inspiring. Great. Out of all of these subjects that you try to study or know about, what are your most favorite?
Subject?
Yeah.
Definitely is water.
Water.
Water is very impressive. It's certainly the most unknown by science, and a lot of studies about water. And I'm thinking of a project which I cannot mention today, but I hope it will make a big hit for here, Dubai. And it's about water, and it will show something totally different. And we know that there is a lot of studies from Montagnier, who show that there is emotion, there is memory, there is a lot of things in the water. Part of the energy, of course, is hydrogen, oxygen, etc. But it is an extremely complex. And when we say water is life, it has a meaning. It's not only because if you don't drink water, you will die, but it has another meaning. There is a lot of things complex in the water.
Yes, yes.
So for me, this is the subject to try to get into it. And I have a fantastic team I'm working with in Belgium who are really specialized in that. And we are doing, these days, when we are talking today, we are doing some experience about water with amazing result that we will soon show to Dubai.
Question number 4. What is your favorite sport?
Then I have 3 answers. The first, when I was young, I was playing rugby in the club, and I really enjoyed it. Number 2, I start to ride motorcycle on the race, not as a professional. I never did as a professional, but I was on the race, and I really enjoyed motorcycle. And the third one, which I practice the most, is the table tennis, ping pong. Mm-hmm. It's really, I love that.
How about chess?
Chess, not much.
Okay.
Not much. Not as a sport, in the work.
Exactly. Strategy, right?
Absolutely.
Question number 5. What is on your design bucket list?
So the first, of course, buildings and master plan. But I designed also watches here in Dubai for a firm. Okay. So that was a nice experience, interesting. And now I'm going to be into jewelry design. So totally different than buildings. It's close to watches, but I will start some collection, yeah.
Can't wait to see the outcome.
Thank you.
And what is your favorite animal?
The king, the lion. Always been impressed. I was lucky to see them very closely in Tanzania. Absolutely impressive. Majesty, beautiful, sounds incredible. So yes, I was impressed by lions. I love all animals. I'm really passionate by nature and animals, but lions impress me a lot.
Question number 7. Who is or who are your role models?
Yes, I was explained before, I was lucky to meet so good people in my life. So I will say not one in specific, but definitely few people really inspire me, drive me, give me the good advices. And these people are still 20 years later, they are still with me, they are still advising me. And it's always a pleasure to be surrounded by good people. 5, 6, 7 good people can change totally your life, provided you understand them, you follow their advice, and you change your attitude based to the advice. So yes, I was surrounding, and I'm still surrounding with excellent people. And that's a big luck in life.
Absolutely true. They say you are the average of the 5 people that surround you. So it's a blessing to be around such kind of people.
Absolutely.
We come to our last question. What is your favorite city?
It was the city who gave me everything, where I could express myself, where I could meet the people, where I could have all these people who inspired me. And my best experience is, of course, Dubai, from far. Even though I love Geneva, I love so many cities, but Dubai for me, it's in my life is a freaking number 1 experience.
and in mine as well. But if we would add to that, what would be other few cities since you've been all around the world?
No, as I said, Switzerland, I like really Geneva and Switzerland. I love Tanzania. I feel extremely comfortable in Tanzania. And Ethiopia was in Africa one of my best experience. When I'm in Addis Ababa and when I visit this country full of history, and you feel things in Ethiopia, the people are extremely welcoming. And Ethiopia is a great country, very far from some ideas that you can find in the news that it's a dry country. It's a big country, it's extremely green. And I will say Ethiopia, Tanzania, and Switzerland impressed me a lot. And Dubai, number one.
Of course. I have a few surprise questions for you.
Okay, I'm ready.
What are your regrets?
Yes, I have one, which is very clear in my mind, is that working too much and traveling too much took me far from my family too long.
Okay.
That's the only one.
What are the things or achievements that you're most proud of?
The iconic buildings. I think the iconic buildings, when I see the reaction of the clients, this what make me maybe part of my family and my two kids, that the best achievement I've done in my life. The iconic building is something very important. And okay, let's come back to number one, the family, number two, the network, and number three, the achievement in terms of design. Two buildings.
Wonderful. I have one last question for you.
Okay.
If you would sum up the answer in only one word, how would you describe the ideal world that you would like to see in the future?
Peace.
We all wish for peace in this world. And again, we thank you for your valuable time, for your valuable insights that you have shared with us. You have absolutely inspired me and inspired many, many others through this great talk. We have touched among amazing subjects and crucial subjects to develop as people, as humans, and also as businesses. Thank you again, Monsieur Amedee Santalo. Thank you for your time.
I thank you, and it was a great honor to be with you today.
It's a privilege, and I'm looking forward to have another session with you in the future, and hopefully en français.
Avec grand plaisir.
Le plaisir est mien, Monsieur Amedee. Hello, Inners community. Hope you enjoyed this session. We'd like to know your comments and thoughts. Most importantly, please do share the episodes and the micro content. The purpose of this podcast is to exchange experiences and share knowledge and raise awareness. So be part of the change. Create your waves. Let the ripple effect reach to everyone, where all of good action comes full circle. And please do remember to hit the like button and the subscribe button. And I'll see you next session.